Hello everyone. It's very worrying time here in Ukraine, in Kiev, especially after Munich Security Conference statements. From one side, of course, all Europe is in shock, but from other side, it looks like we are actually looking more honestly and more straightforward to what happens now. That the war in Ukraine is not a question about Ukraine. It's actually a question of the new world order and what would be the roles that will be played by the US, by Europe, UK, other countries in the future. So how do we actually look at prospects of possible peace and what can be negotiated? First of all, I want to remind everyone that we are not a commodity, that everything that happens now in Ukraine just reflects certain appetite from Russia to put a certain position and to take a certain position in the world, to control the world, to use disinformation to control different societies. And it's happening now. Why we're saying that we need peace, we need victory. It's not only because we want these drones and missiles to stop flying over Ukraine, and we are having this literally every night, every day. We got used to the sounds of drones. We can actually define by the sound what kind of drone is coming or what kind of missile or air defense is working at this stage. We want the end of the war, which means that we want Russia not being able to fight again. We want to end war because we don't want our people dying because someone has imperialistic views. We all want to end this war because we want our territories back. We want recovery of Ukraine. We want recovery not only of the infrastructure, but also recovery of the human security of our people, the human security of our society. We need human recovery. And what can be negotiated? So we will not be ready for negotiations unless there are certain security guarantees that are already prepared. Security guarantees that would provide us confidence that if we have ceasefire, that we will have plan B, whether it's foreign troops, specific weapons, or NATO, that this plan B, together with our troops, with our military capacities, will stop Russia making an aggression occupation again. We have our very tragic background in knowing that Budapest Memorandum and other international treaties that we signed, that we actually had the confidence that other countries that signed this would provide security to us, that in fact it's just a piece of paper. We gave up our nuclear arsenal for certain security guarantees that never came into place when we needed them. So now it's the time to make it happen, or we will not be able to negotiate anything. Yes, it's incredibly sad. It's a very hard situation, but we need to understand that Putin is moving in Ukraine, and he's moving towards Poland, towards Lithuania, towards Germany, other countries, sometimes not physically, but mentally, inside people's minds. And we see the results of elections in different countries, this disinformation, foreign interference coming from Russia into the social media. And we see that democracies actually are backsliding, and that's a big problem. So the policymakers in Ukraine, we are fighting for justice in these questions. We want the end of the war. We want to have a peace deal, but we want to have a just peace. And we want to have peace through strength, which means that we are not a victim. We are not in a position of weakness when we are just left without any security guarantees. I want to emphasize that security guarantees can be NATO, can be foreign troops, can be specific weapons. So here are the answers, and I really hope that there will be a leadership and wisdom to make things happen. And it requires also certain wisdom coming from European states. That's very important.